Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Anything Blows. My name's Andrew Dika, and today proud to be joined by the one, the only Arjan Iseni. Arjan, I'll say it again. It feels like yesterday we done our interview, and it feels like yesterday you were still amateur, and now you're 6-0. How time's flowing is crazy.
Crazy. Time's going quick, man. It's this pro game. You really don't have time to take a break, and just everything's so fast paced. Now I've been a pro for 2 years now.
Would you say it's quicker than the amateur scene?
Not really. I guess it's just more stressful since you really only have one shot at it to keep it perfect. You know what I mean? In the amateurs, you win, you lose some, whatever. But trying to keep that O, getting building up the ranks too. It's way more pressure.
So now 6-0 with five knockouts. I'm going to take you back, and hopefully your mind remembers it. Go back to the debut, September 2024, Carl Murphy.
Um, it was stressful, man. Not stressful, but starting a whole new chapter in my boxing career, I was a little nervous. We went in there, we got the job done. Second round. After the second round, he gave up. I have this thing. Out of the six fights that I have, three of them just gave up on the stool. I don't know why. They just keep giving up. I can't get that clean knockout that I want. I get them to where I want them to be, and then once I go, I'm talking to my corner like, all right, this round you're gonna go, you're gonna finish him. They never get up from the stool, man. They never do.
Is that the Albanian power?
Yeah. Yeah. They
Um,
know they know I got it in me. So
Are you in two sense? It's got to be something of pride because it shows you can make another man quit. But then, in one sense, like you said, you want that stoppage. You want to stop them.
of course. I listen, a win's a win in my book. My last fight went the distance, 6 rounds, but I still won. We were all very, I think it was my best performance yet, honestly, because, we boxed 6 rounds. The conditioning was good. We followed the game plan for 6 rounds, but those knockouts are good for like social media. You know what I mean? The exposure part of it, because that's what a lot of managers look for these days and promoters if you're marketable.
So another thing, go on to your second fight. So back to back. So September to December 2024. Would you say that's pretty quick, or did you have time?
Well, it was plenty of time. The thing is, I don't like getting out of shape. I try to stay as active as possible as long as I'm healthy. I leave the fight with no cuts, no scratches, no injuries. Then I'm always ready to get back into it.
And talk about that second fight.
Second fight, that was one of my favorite fights. One of my favorite pairs of shorts I wore, favorite kit.
Was that the Albanian one that cost you a lot of money?
Yeah, yeah,
Bro, that's
yeah.
crazy.
I paid a lot for that kit. The guy that makes my shorts, he takes care of me. But the logos and the embroidery, that I had to make that whole Albanian eagle to put on the back, and like the stitches and this. I was like, but it looked nice, so it was worth it. I
You
still have to frame that one. I haven't got to framing it yet.
haven't got your mom or grandma to knit it like old school Albanians. You did it yourself.
Yeah,
And that was what round stoppage was that one?
second.
And third fight, 2025 February. Talk about that one.
Um, it was kind of a very last minute opponent. We had this one guy lined up, and then fight was on Friday. He pulled out on Tuesday. We found this guy on Wednesday. Thank God he took the fight. You know what I mean? We got the job done in 30 seconds. He wasn't ready, honestly, but it is what it is. He signed up. He know what he signed up for. We weren't hiding nothing from him. He knew my name. He knew what he was getting into. So it is what it is.
Then we go to June 2025, Kane Tomlinson Jr.
Yeah, that was a good fight. That was my first fight on like a big card. I fought on a top ranked card.
Was that the Barclays Center?
No, that was in the Prudential Center. The
Okay, yeah.
funny was it the fight after that, the Barclays? I think it was. Yeah,
How's the Newark, New Jersey one?
it's nice. It's honestly I prefer it better than the Barclays Center. The Barclays Center has a more prestigious name, than the Prudential Center, but the arena, like meaning the locker rooms, cleaner, bigger. Like the Barclays Center was like they cram like 5 fighters into one room and like try to warm up while everyone's in there, trying to shadow box, trying to stretch. I'm trying to hit pads before my fight. This guy's laying down, stretching his legs out. I'm like, you know, in the Prudential Center though, they took care of us. I had like a whole room to myself, and it was cool.
If you ever come to London, if you have you been to London?
No, never, not yet.
There's a place called York Hall. It's the home of British boxing. I'd say it's like the Mecca at the MSG, but it's like over 100 years of history. AJ's fought there. Adam Mack has fought there recently. Obviously, a lot of famous fighters, heavyweights, and champions. It's a great, great old school dust up. But I swear to God, it's about a 2 meter locker room, and they'd cram two teams in it at the same time. You can't. People have to get out of that room to try warm up. It is terrible, but I do want you to come to the UK, and we'll get onto that after. But yeah, I know the feeling. And January 2026, your fifth fight and your fifth knockout. That was a good one too.
That was also one of my favorite performances. That was a very good performance. The guy, he was tough. He was durable. He knew how to fight. The problem is like with my style, I like to dictate the pace. I like to dictate the fight. I don't want the guy to give the other guy a chance.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So that fight, I really didn't give him a chance. And a lot of people are like, oh, this guy's fighting a bum. This guy's fighting a loser. But it's just that I didn't let him fight his fight because if he did, he would have walked me down the whole time. He's a Mexican fighter. He's a tough guy, and I didn't give him the opportunity to do that. So now me doing what I had to do, everyone thinks like, oh, I fought a bum. You know what I mean? But the guy was tough, man. He was taking my shots. He was, he knew what he was doing.
And the sixth fight, obviously a 2-0 opponent. Obviously you fought undefeated before in 1-0, but 2-0. First one you've banked in the rounds and gone 6 rounds. Are you annoyed you didn't get a knockout, or is it all learning and experience?
No, I'm never annoyed I didn't get the knockout. As long as I go out, get out of there with my hand raised, then I'm the winner. It doesn't matter. My coach was actually pretty happy. It went the distance. They wanted to see how I would do in the 6 round fight. Listening to the corner, keeping a pace. It's very important that a lot of boxers like for example, a lot of prospects, like blue chip prospects, for example, like they don't know how to go the distance. You know what I mean? They they're going for that third round, second round, first round knockout, and then once it gets into the deep end, the sixth, the seventh, the eighth, they kind of get confused because they don't really know. They've never been in those waters before. So I was kind of happy I went the distance. Did I want the knockout? Yeah. But am I upset? No.
100% record still. And yeah, so I want to say one thing, and this is in the most kind of biased, but obviously mutual thing. In the UK, a lot of fighters, and Jake Paul's done this when Jake Paul was fighting his fighters, and it's a complete different thing. But he would say, you're fighting people with 200 losses, 100 losses. If I calculate it now, you've got 3-0-2, so there's 5, 6, 10, 12, 12 wins, and your opponent's total losses combined is about the same. It's about even. I'm sorry, just the page is disappearing. But you've got 12 wins on their opponents, and then obviously 4 plus 2, 6, 11, 0, 0, and four more. So 12 and 16. I would say a lot of UK fighters fight journeymans that come from Mexico, and the record doesn't always define someone, but a lot of people, casuals, will look at the record and see you fought a bum or you fought someone with 200 losses. But these guys with 200 losses could put it on at you anytime, and they shock prospects, they beat prospects, and it loses the promoters, their ticket seller. But yeah, kudos to you for not only fighting great guys, but I feel like would you say it's completely different out there in America compared to how they do it in the UK?
Yeah, honestly, I've seen some guys that fight in Europe, like general Europe, like even like some Albanian fighters that I know personally, or even all over the place. They're fighting guys that are like 10 and 70. And meanwhile, that guy does have 80 fights worth of experience. You know what I mean? You can't be that good to get to 10 and 70. You know what I mean? You to freaking lose 70 fights is a lot. Some people don't even have 70 amateur fights in their pros. You know what I mean? But to lose 70, it's I don't know how to explain it. It does come with experience, but at the same time, it doesn't look good. You know what I mean? I've been offered guys that were like 2 and 10 and like 5 and 13. Like I don't want to fight those guys. Like those guys don't look good on my box rec. promoters see that stuff, man. They don't, they don't like that stuff unless you're signed to them. Then it's a different story. But for me personally, like I always went with whoever took the fight. There was, I remember the fight in January. I we reached out to 50 people, and they all said no. This guy was the only person that said yes. The my fight in January, he was the only one. And then the ones that would say yes, they wanted an absurd amount of money, like money that I wasn't even making at the time. You know what I mean? So it was just like, how am I going to pay you when I'm not even making that much? So it's like, I don't know. It goes hand in hand. Honestly, it's good. I guess to build your record, but at the same time, it's like, are you really learning? Because it's more of just building your record. You want to get to when you're a not even when you're a contender. You want to fight like a contender. You want to fight like you fighting those guys that are 10-70, for example. You know,
And one thing I'd say there is obviously it's completely different, but it puts a lot more respect on your name. Your fighting prospects. You fought two guys, one that was 1-0, and the last one which was 2-0. You both fought prospects, and like you said again, in the UK, I think there's about six journeymen that have over 100 fights, and there's one that has 200 plus fights now. And like I said, you give credit to them, but at the same time, it's something more impressive to beat someone that's never been beaten before because you're taking away their own.
of course, like those guys, like credit to them. Credit to all journeymen. They're there for a reason. They're there to get paid. They're doing it for a living. I can't put it against them. If that's how they make their money, that's how they make their money. They feed their family. They keep their lights on, food on the table. I respect it. You can't do nothing about it. But to fight a guy like that and then to expect the world from a promoter in like 5 fights, it's kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't expect nothing else fighting guys like you know with negative records, but negative by a lot. I'm not saying I've never fought a negative boxer because sometimes that's what the opportunity presented to me was. But I feel like you should always look for a challenge. You know what I mean? You don't want to be beating these guys out, beating them, blowing them out of the water in one round, and then expect to have easy fights when you become a contender.
What we say in the UK, and a lot of journeymen have told me too, is if you're a good prospect, you should be stopping the journeyman. Obviously, you haven't really fought journeyman, but you 5-0, 5 knockouts. You're on box at one point, I think last year, and it said, what was it? It said the most trending boxers in the world right now,
Yeah,
and you're in the top five. How cool was that? I reposted that
that
and said, yeah.
that was cool. I remember someone sent it to me. I didn't even see it myself. One of my boys from our gym sent it to me. I was like, "Oh, that's crazy!" And I was on the list with Daniel Dubois. There was another big guy on it. I forgot his name, but it was cool. I was happy people were searching my name, starting to figure out who I am. I want to I want to start to get known little by little.
And you're 23rd in America, 165th in the world. How do you want to take this? Do you want to rush it? Do you want to go as quick as possible? Or do you want to take your time?
I don't want to take my time, but I don't want to rush it either. Like I don't want to jump into a big fight, but at the same time, I'm not gonna, hold myself back. If the opportunity is presented to me where me and my team think we could capitalize on it, we're gonna go for it. But if we're not presented with that opportunity and we're not really in a rush, because I'm still only 23
Mhm.
and I've been pro for 2 years, I have all the experience in the world. Like I have no reason to rush. My prime is gonna hit in about 3 years. Hopefully, I get another, let's say, minimum 10 fights in those 3 years. I'm gonna be 16-0 in my prime. That's when the real fights are gonna be coming. That's when the money's gonna be coming. So I'm trying to time it perfectly. I'm not trying to take forever, or I'm not trying to, rush it either.
Do you want to copy your cousin Rashad?
No, no, I wouldn't want to copy Rashad. Rashad, he started really quick. They were moving him fast in Matchroom, and then he kind of slowed down, which was injuries, personal problems, stuff like that. Which it's not really something you can control. Sometimes stuff like that happens, and you just gotta roll with the punches, literally. So he was doing what he had to do. He took care of what he had to take care of, and there's nothing against him, but I definitely want to keep a steady pace. I don't want to fight and then be off for like 6 months, or I don't want to fight month after month. You know what I mean? I want to have a full training camp every fight. I want to stay prepared. I want to work on what I got to work on to become a better fighter, and then go from there.
And he saw my story the last time I posted it. But when are we gonna get Eddie Hearn and Matchroom to sign you?
Hopefully soon, man. I spoke to him in January. I saw him when we were doing the weigh-ins. My dad actually went up to him, said what's up to him, and then he called me over. We talked to him a little bit. He said he was gonna watch my fight. Did he watch or not? He had a busy night. He was worried about Dalton Smith that night. But
Mm.
you know, we're trying to get in touch with these guys now. Hopefully soon.
And he has to realize, I think he knows from Florian Marco here, or Marco, Albanians are probably the best ticket sellers in the world.
Oh yeah, 100%. I sell a good amount of tickets out here.
What's the most you've done for a fight?
40? 40,000, I'd say.
And that the money's crazy, isn't it? Like, could you compare American prices to British prices, or then again, it's a payment in America that's completely different? Because I see, and it's like 165, 310, but you always sell it out.
Yeah, I always whatever I have in hand, I always take care of it. I have a lot of guys that are behind me that really take care of me. You know, they always come out, they support, they buy tickets. You know, thank God for them because they really help me a lot. A lot of people that a lot of the cards in America, like if you want to fight, the first thing they don't care your name. How many tickets you sell? It's the first question they're gonna ask you. So you know, if
Mm.
you're not selling tickets, you know they really don't want you to fight. So thank God I'm in a position where I do sell tickets, and a lot of my people come out and support me. But there's some like, for example, like I was fighting on this card and a front row seat. Like there, I know some people that only want front row seats. They don't care how much it costs. But then a front row seat's $2,350. Like, how am I supposed to sell that to somebody? You know what I mean? If I'm fighting a 4 round fight,
Mm.
like I don't feel comfortable giving that to somebody. Listen, if I'm fighting for a world championship or I'm fighting a tough fight, yeah, pay it because it's gonna be worth it. But if I'm fighting a guy for 4 rounds, you know what I mean? Like, I really don't feel comfortable selling that to somebody because it's not fair to them. Now, what if they're not buying one ticket? They're buying five. They're gonna pay $10,000. You know what I mean? But you know, everybody's different.
I used to work sales as well, and I was like, leave the poor person alone. Although they push you and they push you to sell to that person, I was like, we got lives too, and I'd understand if I was on the other foot. So I appreciate that, and you'll realize it come. And like I said, with this interview now, I say it with every Albanian I interview, but especially with someone like you or Dennis, who I have a previous connection with, it just feels like a general conversation that's flowing. So, bro, I want to ask you. I did ask, did you want to go short? Did you want to go fast? Do you want to go 10 and 0 and hit double digits and then fight for a title? Or when the opportunity presents itself, what titles would you like? The NABA? Which ones?
Whichever ones are offered to me first, you know, I'll take anything. Honestly, I'm not picky. I'll take any hardware I can get in the pros. You know what I mean? A lot of people wait all their lives for it and they don't get the chance. So, you know, if the opportunity is presented to me, I'm definitely gonna go up, grab it, do what I got to do.
And before we go off topic or like go off of you and ask about other names, is there anyone you want to fight? And is there anyone that's been calling you out? Obviously, with a hot record like that, undefeated as well. As you had any names calling you out?
No, not yet. I think they're being very smart, not calling me out. So I think they're you know they're doing pretty good not doing that. I don't think honestly. I think it's too early for me to anybody calling me out, me call anybody out. You know, once I get in a position, let's say I'm signed to a big promotion, this and that, then different story. But right now, I haven't called anybody out. I really don't care. I'll fight anybody if the money's right. Throw me in the ring, give me a pair of gloves, and we'll get to work. But I'm down for whatever.
And what was I gonna say there? So yeah, so like I said earlier, 26 in America, 175 in the world. You're still at light heavyweight, right?
Yeah.
How tall are you again?
6'3".
6'3". How do you find the build? How do you find the physique?
Um, it's good. Honestly, it's not bad. We do a lot of weight training at the beginning of camp. Then after that, I get off my creatine, I slim down. You know, whatever. I'll make the weight. It's definitely not easy making the weight. There's definitely an easy way I could do it. I do want to get into a nutritionist now, someone that I can talk to about how I could make this easier for myself. But my coaches want me to go down to 68. I think that's a little steep, but I guess time will tell. If I get a nutritionist and it doesn't go that bad, then I guess I'll go down to 68. But I feel really comfortable at 75.
And yeah, let's go to it now. So, like I said, I mentioned again, 26 in America, 175 in the world. What's your opinion on the light heavyweight landscape in the US and the top boys there? And what's your opinion? I usually say to British fighters domestically, but obviously you're not domestic. And what do you think about around the world?
In the US, I've honestly fought most of these guys in the nationals. There's like two or three guys that are ranked higher than me that I've beaten the amateurs, and I don't think I wouldn't be able to do it again. So, there's pretty much an open road here. You know what I mean? For me to get to the top in the US rankings, there's a couple guys, um, that are, tough, good boxers, but nothing I can't handle. Internationally, man, better Biev and fucking Bivol, man, those are tough guys.
They're tying up the division.
Man, they got it on a chokehold, and nobody's stepping up to fight them, man. Is the trilogy even happening?
No, so Bivol's fighting someone else. I forgot his name, but Bivol either this month in May or in a few months, he's fighting someone else. I think the only way they're going to do the trilogy is if it's with Riyadh Season and Saudi.
Because I heard something that they both want a tune-up fight, and then they're gonna fight at the end of the year,
Hmm.
which would make
Maybe.
sense for them. Because honestly, the better be of 38 or 30. How old is he? Like 39, right?
Yeah, like no, he's older than 39. I think 39 or 40 by now, yeah.
So he's 40. If he gets that last paycheck, if he leaves undisputed, that'd be sick for him. But then if Bivol beats him, another good paycheck. He defends his title against one of the best in his generation. So I think it's a good fight for both of them. They'll definitely make a good amount of money. It's a good opportunity for both of them. Why not?
Whose style do you like more and who do you think's a better fighter?
Wow, that's a tough question. I love both styles, but honestly, Bivol's style is like very
Soviet.
it's like it's like eye candy. I don't know how to explain it. It's beautiful to watch. You know what I mean? He makes it seem so effortless. But boxing like that has to be the toughest thing in the world.
Mm.
I have a Ukrainian coach what tries, we're trying to mix the American boxing with like a little bit of a Soviet style, and it's tough, man, to bounce for 12 rounds. It's tough to bounce for 6 rounds. Like I did in my last fight, not that it was hard, but I can't imagine another six after that. Keeping that same pace, balance in out in out. It's very tough. And, I have a lot of respect for him for doing that.
How many knockouts did you have in the amateurs? I know it's a lot different there, but yeah.
I don't even know, not many. I'd
And
say
and
like 10.
and you had about 100 fights or 150?
With kickboxing, 150, but boxing, I'd say like 110.
And what's the biggest difference? A lot of professional boxers in the UK say amateur boxing to professional boxing are two different sports. What have you learned the most? And like I said, you kind of have time in a pro game to cut down weight, where amateurs you always have to be ready on weight, and you're a professional, which you do keep your weight. But what's the biggest differences for you?
Definitely the style of fighting, um, the point structure. In the amateurs, it was effective, aggressive. You got to be on the front foot the whole time. You don't want to get hit with stupid shots, but you got to be throwing a lot. In the pros, if the guy throws 10 punches and they're not clean, and I throw four that are clean, I'm getting the round because mine were nicer shots. You know what I mean? Cleaner, more effective punches. The weight thing is definitely different. Like cutting the weight and doing that, rehydrating for the next day. I rehydrate very well. That's why I'm not worried about going down to 68. Um, and then just the preparation is different. Getting ready for 3 round fights is so much easier now. Now that I realize how I got to get ready for a 6 round and 8 round fight. My last fight I was scheduled for six. I was sparring 12 rounds every other day. So we didn't have a problem with that. I was doing 12 rounds against top guys. And we were rotating every 3 or 4 rounds. We were throwing a different guy in there. So
What are the bigger names you've sparred or notable names that people would know?
Um, I usually work with Sergey Deryevchenko.
Hmm.
Couple guys from the gym, some USA, some guys that go to the nationals. Not really big names, but they're definitely, coming
Do you,
up in them.
sorry, do you still have Nikita Barbie in your gym?
I don't know with him, man. He's on and off with it.
But you
So
spot him or no?
I used to, yeah.
Was he your
Used to.
weight or?
He fought at 160, I think.
Uh-huh.
So we'd be close in weight most of the time, but we'd spar.
Do you think he was a good name? Like, I remember him on a KSI undercard and no Eddie talking about him, or do you think he's gone on now?
He had a good opportunity, man. He was signed to Matchroom, good manager, and honestly, no management now, no promoter. So honestly, I don't know. I haven't seen him in a while. Like, it's been a long time. I don't think he trains with us anymore. Like at our gym. I think he's been gone somewhere else. But
Now going off of boxing for a little bit and we'll finish off with it. Talk about life and how's life been as a pro?
life's getting good, man. I'm making money. I'm
I
finally
love
getting
it.
paid. So I'm not making an outstanding amount of money, but I'm definitely more comfortable than I was in the amateurs. Um, Life's good, man. I just go to the gym, hang out, family. I'm engaged now. My fiance, hang out with my friends. So just normal stuff, normal people stuff.
I was gonna say that is Rashad married or is he still engaged?
Shot's married. He
Married.
got
Did you
married.
go to the wedding?
Oh yeah, of course, had to.
And does that kind of envision your one? How are you gonna prep for it? Because we know Albanian weddings are big.
Man, if you want to be completely honest, you don't even want one. I think it's like a waste of money, man. Spending all that money for to feed other people and stuff. It's tradition, It's nice, of course. I
Yeah.
enjoy it. I enjoy going to other people's weddings, but at the same time, it's like a burden. It's like stress. You know what I mean? Like you're worried the whole time, or are people gonna like this, or people gonna like that. Like that's what I don't want it to be. I don't mind having one, but I don't want to have to worry about, oh, does this person like it? I'm doing it for me. You know what I mean? I want to enjoy it. I don't want to worry about, oh, was the food good? Was this good? Was that good? Like, if I can get that out of the way, then we're good. I'll have one for sure.
So, who gets more nervous at fights? Mom, dad, siblings, or fiance?
I don't know, man. I think mom for sure. Dad, he gets a little nervous, of course. Siblings, I don't really think they care. Um, my fiance, she definitely gets nervous.
How many siblings do you have?
Two. I have one older brother, one younger sister.
And have they been to all of your fights?
Yeah, they haven't missed one so far as a pro.
That's a great support system. And talk about your engagement and how was it? I remember commenting, but it looked amazing.
It was cool, man. I made the decision a couple months prior. Went and bought the ring. We went back home for vacation. She didn't know I was gonna propose over there. It was a surprise. Everything was good. I had an engagement party too overseas back home because I have a lot of family back home. So I really don't have much family over here. So we had it back home. It was very nice. We had a good time. Seeing everybody all together, celebrating something nice. So it was fun.
And I just want to talk about a few other fighters. So let's go on to our boy Dennis. What do you think about Dennis and how do you see it? Obviously, 20 months off, unfortunate with what happened with the UFC and the bucket incident, but talk about it. And would you say he's still one of the best we've got? And there's still a lot yet to come because he's never really had a full camp for a UFC fight.
Dennis definitely has a good opportunity to make some sound in the UFC. Yeah, that whole bucket incident put him back a little bit. Every fight he's had, he's honestly been taking it on short notice. Trying to one thing as a fighter is trying to stay ready is very difficult for a fight like that. It's not just because you could stay in the gym, and then even if you're in the gym, you're hanging out with your boys, and you know what I mean. Like it's a whole different vibe when you have a date. Like when I'm training in the gym now, like I've been back in the gym for a week. I'm training, but it's not with the same intention as when I have a date. Like when I have a set date and I sign that contract, nothing else matters. I'm more worried about training than anything else. But when you're training just to, stay ready, you don't really train with that 110% that you do when you have a set day. So trying to stay ready for those fights are very tough. And I give a lot of credit to Dennis because he's always in shape. It's very tough to stay always in shape as a fighter. And then the fights they're giving him, they're not no slouches. They haven't gave him any losers. You know what I mean? Someone to like, give him a win in the UFC. Like a here you go. They're all tough guys. That last guy he fought was tough, but Dennis was boxing his head off in the beginning, man. He was doing his thing. He was doing exactly what he had to do. And honestly, I think that guy got lucky. He tucked his chin, threw an overhand, and he hit him. Like if you watch it back, the guy just threw the overhand. You even see where Dennis was. He was looking at his feet. Threw it. Dennis got hit. Those are small gloves, man. 6 ounces are tiny.
Four.
They're four?
Hmm?
Even worse.
It's like wearing a glove. It's nothing.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, Dennis even had his hand up. He was here. He had the defense up and then just got lucky, man. I love Dennis. Dennis is like a brother to me, man. So, I really wish him all the best. But, hopefully he gets a fight soon with a full fight camp and then, we can really see his full potential.
And with Ramiz as well, the same way. Ramiz's first few fights, caught McGee, the one that slit his ear open. We beat us Albanians and Dennis and Ramiz and even Bernard Sopai. We haven't taken easy fights. Well, they
No,
haven't.
100%. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Because it's tough to stay in the UFC, you know what I mean? They have an agenda that they wanna, keep going. And if you wanna be one of their guys, they kind of put you through it in the beginning. But I feel like once you get past this and they start giving you some fights with a little bit of notice, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna get better for them, hopefully, because they're all tough guys, they're all good people. I wish them all the best.
But Anthony Joshua versus Christian Prenga, what do you know about Christian? I know you American guys have posted him a lot. I remember Dennis posting him. But did you know about this or was it a shock?
Out of nowhere, man. I woke up that morning, I saw he had posted it. I thought I was sleeping still. I was like, how did this even happen? But you know what? Good for him, man. He got the opportunity I think he deserves. He's at that point of the career where he needs to like, make it happen now or it's never gonna happen. You know what I mean? So, he's an older guy, but he still trains very hard, from what I've seen when I've trained near him and stuff. Definitely trains hard. He's definitely, a tough guy. So I wish him all the best.
Aryan, so we were speaking about other fighters. I want to say to you, do you think, obviously, we had Robin Krasniqi, Luan Krasniqi, but do you think right now, yourself included, is this the biggest rise and the highest moment? Like I said, Dennis Noria fought Tim Tszyu in Australia. Is this the pivot, the peak of Albanian boxing, or is there still best to come?
I think right now we're at our highest point,
Mhm.
with the amount of fighters we got, ranked fighters, fighters that are not just, prospects that are also contenders. But of course there's always room for improvement. There's always room for better fighters to come through in the future. You never know. Even as not even in a boxing aspect, as a nation we're growing, so hopefully, the amateur circuit for them gets better so they can get to different tournaments and they get international experience so they can become better boxers and down the future they can have good opportunities for themselves too.
And something that dropped today or earlier today, and I'll get your opinion on this. Who do you like more? But Kanye West's going to Albania, and obviously they're building him a 60,000 arena slash stadium outside. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy, man. I don't know how he got it done, honestly. That's so sick, man. I honestly want to be there, man. I'm
You
trying to go.
should.
Think
Um,
I'm gonna try to go out there.
do you like his music more or Drake's music more, or you like both?
Man, they're both like out of top three artists. They're like this and one and two, man. Like they're both great artists. I listen to both their stuff. So Drake's dropping a new album soon, so see how that goes.
Love it. And obviously you're born and raised in Bronx, right?
No, Staten Island.
Staten Island, my bad, sorry, bro. But Eric Adams, what did you know of him growing up and him getting that citizenship?
Man, I honestly was pretty young when he was mayor. Like I really didn't care about that stuff. I don't know how he got his citizenship, man. Why why Albanian citizenship? It's just very random. Why? Well,
Yeah.
I guess it's cool. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people make it seem like it's like whoa. It's like, but at the same time, like, why'd he do it? He had a reason to pick Albania out of every country. And I don't remember him being a bad mayor. Honestly, just a lot of people. You know what it is? No matter who gets elected here for mayor or president or someone's always gonna have something bad to say, no matter what it is or how good of a job they're doing. Or like for example, like we just elected Mamdani. Was
Yeah.
Mamdani, and he's Muslim. He's think he's part Indian. I don't know exactly where he's from. If I'm wrong, but he's doing what he got to do, man. He's doing his job. Everything he said he was gonna do, he's doing so far that I know of. And honestly, like I'm not really big into politics. I really don't care for it enough. At the end of the day, I still got to do my job, no matter what it is. No matter who president is. The only thing I'm worried about is a war. Honestly, like if someone pops up with this war and something goes down south, but honestly, I really don't care enough about politics to worry about these guys.
We was talking about Anthony Joshua and Christian Prenga. Do you believe now, finally, after about 10 years in the making, 12 years in the making, is the Fury fight actually made? And do you think it's just talk, or do you think it will actually happen September, November, December this year?
Um, I think it'll happen for sure. I think they're both in a position where they're kind of not really going downhill, but coasting through the end of their career. So if they want to make the fight happen, they could definitely make it happen because I don't really see either of them going for another title shot. Maybe Anthony Joshua
Mhm.
trying to grab, some hardware again. But even at that, the he's been out for a while. He's been fighting not really much good opponents. His I don't know, his last couple of fights haven't gone his way. Recently they've been one on, one off. So I wish the best for both of them. Hopefully they'll definitely get a sick payday from that.
I think over £100 million each, probably $150 million each. What did you make of his fight against Jake Paul, and what do you think of Jake Paul?
I'm happy he knocked him out, honestly. I have nothing against Jake Paul. Honestly, Jake Paul's bringing a lot to the sport with he's throwing shows in Madison Square Garden and all these big arenas, and he's bringing money to the sport. But at the same time, he's making people think that it's like the easiest thing in the world. Like not everyone can get in the ring and do what he does. I have a lot of respect for him. He trains like a professional boxer. I know a bunch of other content creators that come to the gym and um what's it called? They really just come, they fuck around and they fight. And then they lose and they get mad. Like, oh, I trained hard. Like, no, you didn't. For example, Slim. I don't know if you know Slim the
Yeah,
Hitman.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He trains at our gym, and man, he works hard, man. He's supposed to fight like a week after me or a week before me, and then the fight got canceled because it was in I forgot where he was supposed to fight, but it didn't go through. Now he's fighting in July, I think, or June. But he's been training, man. He's been getting ready. Some of them I respect, but some of them just like they do it to get a quick check, and But Jake Paul, honestly, he's really been doing his thing and also promoting boxing fights very well.
For the women as well, yeah.
Oh yeah, big time, especially for like Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. He did a
Yeah.
great job with those fights.
And won his last card, the MVP card in New York. I did ask if you went, but you're in Florida. Luis Jolena fought there. Did you watch that? What do you know of him?
We train together actually. He trains in my gym. We
Oh.
have different coaches, but we do train in the same gym. He's a cool guy. I've known him since the amateurs when I was fighting for Macedonia. He was fighting for Albania. We'd always see each other all these tournaments, the European Championships, the Balkan Championships, stuff like that. And he's a cool dude. Respectful. He works hard. He got the job done. On a big platform, which I'm happy for him. He has another one coming up, I'm pretty sure. But I wish him all the best too. He's a cool dude.
Great knockout, and he wore the Bane mask. He fits it for a heavyweight as well.
Yeah.
Uh, if you could be a superhero or a villain, just because it's popped to my mind, which superhero slash villain would you be? Or what would you describe yourself most as?
And probably Spider Man. I don't know.
Slick,
Not. I
good.
never really liked Batman growing up.
I
Was
feel
never a
like
fan of
everyone
Batman.
says the same because he just never has superpowers. He was just a natural guy, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I always like watching Spider-Man growing up, so I'll pick Spider-Man.
And there's a new Spider-Man movie coming out June or July this year. So yeah.
Of this year,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The one with Zendaya and Zendaya's like forgotten who he is. It's just a cool build up.
I definitely gotta look into it. I haven't seen anything about it, but yeah, I love the old Spider-Man movies are the best, man.
Who's your favorite? Toby, Andrew, or Tom?
Who was the first one, man? I always mix up their
Toby
names.
Maguire. Toby
Tobey
Maguire.
Maguire, the best, man.
Yeah, the
Goated.
OG. He's a go. I like Andrew too because he had Emma Stone and those movies were great. And yeah, so going back onto boxing, like I said, I asked with Lewis coming there, um, when can we see you come to the UK or fight in Europe?
I've been in talks to probably fight in Albania to fight back home. Um, it's kind of like the conversation starts. We get to a certain point. It's kind of like we don't meet an agreement for certain things, so it doesn't go through. But whenever the opportunity presents itself, I definitely love to fight back home. OTR product promotion, whatever it is, man. I'll fight anywhere. The UK, hopefully, we get signed to a Matchroom, Queensberry. Then we can go fight out there because I don't think any other promoters are really doing fights out there like that. Whenever the opportunity presents itself, I'm always open to coming out. I definitely want to travel. Not that I'm bored of it, but I've been fighting in New York and New Jersey all my life, so I'm just trying to different scenery. I enjoy traveling for fighting. It was nice when I was traveling, going all over the world fighting internationally as an amateur.
And let me ask you that. Obviously, everyone makes a deal out of it, but as a professional and as an athlete yourself, how was it fighting in Serbia and what was the experience there?
Um, it was just like any other tournament. I had no problems. Honestly, nobody. Everyone on the national team knew I was Albanian. From there, the Serbian national team. They all came up to the girl Albanian. I'm like, yeah, I wasn't hiding it. I'm gonna embrace who I am. This is who I am. And they're like, okay. And then we did what we had to do. Cool people, not respectful. They were
Mhm.
cordial. They weren't really bothering me. They didn't say nothing to me. No, they didn't give me no problem. So I have nothing bad to say about them. I wouldn't, lie about it. But yeah, just like any other tournament that I've been to, they the same hospitality.
Did you ever fight a Serb in the amateurs?
Yeah, I fought a Serbian in Serbia. Yeah, in
Did you
the
win?
quarterfinals. No, I didn't win.
Was it a robbery?
No, I wouldn't say it wasn't my best performance. The kid was good. He was definitely good. Um, uh, it is what it is, man. It happens.
And when are you gonna come to London, whether it be for a fight or just for a vacation? Because I need some of that Arjan Iseni merch.
Hopefully soon, man. I need a vacation, man. I do need a real vacation. I definitely do want to come out there and see how it is out there. It's definitely a whole different world from how it is over here. So hopefully, a couple more fights, make some more money, and then I'll come out there.
Maybe even just come for some sparring. We'll just watch a show, even if you're not fighting.
Yeah, 100%. Get some work over there. Hopefully, if somebody needs me for a camp, I'll be out there. Someone hits me up. I get a lot of guys that hit me up to go to like these camps and stuff, and I'm just like, like I don't really want to go. Like of course, the experience is worth it, but then they're not really paying much. I'm just, it's not worth it, man. I'd rather just stay home and train, do what I got to do, because I know when you start paying someone for sparring, that's when the sparring gets tough.
Hmm,
So,
exactly. When are
then
you next out?
I'm trying to get on that Boots Zayas card.
Mhm.
Hopefully, it works out that I can get on that card. It's a little tricky because there's a lot of guys on the card, and plus Matchroom and Top Rank are doing it together, so they're mostly going to put their own guys. But if they need someone to fill a spot, I'll definitely go out there and fight. It's not a problem.
And obviously, not to think too far, but obviously, whilst the names are still there, like heavyweight, obviously you got Callum Smith and you've got the big boys here in the UK. When can we see you fight? And could we ever see you fight Bivol or Better Be Ever? Would they be gone by the time you get to that level?
I think they're going to be gone by then, honestly. The age, the amount of fights they've had all their life, they're they're kind of wearing down little by little. Sucks to see because they're great fighters. I love watching them fight, but their time's gonna come. I think they made plenty of money, so I think they'll be gone by the time I get up there.
And off topic again, just personal life. What you've been watching on Netflix? What songs you've been listening to?
Um, wow, it's a tough question. I watch like TV shows. I watch Breaking Bad, um, Suits. I don't know if you guys have that over there. Netflix is
Yeah.
different in Europe and in America.
Mhm.
Like when I go back home, the Netflix is so much better over there. Like a
You
hundred
think?
times, 100 times better. It sucks over here.
Um,
It sucks. When I go back home to Albania, I log into my Netflix, like movies I've never seen before on Netflix. Like all the best. And then here is just like some stupid shows like I don't even like. But like honestly, top three shows like Breaking Bad is a good show. What else? Ozark is a good show, and then Suits,
and I think I asked this 3 years ago, but it might have changed in that 3 year period. Top three movies?
Scarface.
Hmm.
Um, man, this is tough. Scarface. What other movies have I watched? Recently, nothing. Oh, the Michael Jackson movie was actually pretty good.
I haven't
The
seen
one
it.
that just came out, just I watched it yesterday. It was a pretty good movie. Very um, educational and like entertaining at the same time. What else? I haven't been to the movies in a while recently.
Do you prefer the Creed movies or the Rocky movies?
The Rocky movies for sure.
Mm.
100%. They're more like old school, like real, like grit. No, nothing against the Creed movies. They're pretty good too. But the last one was actually really nice. And I had
Yeah,
a bunch of friends that were in it. Like guys that I trained with. So it was pretty cool seeing that too.
that's sick. Which ones?
And the most recent one, um, my friend, well, not my friend's coach, the Mick Queen. I don't know if you ever seen her. Like I've seen her as
Yeah.
an actor and stuff, and seeing her in the movie is pretty cool. Some of the guys, Jose Benavides. I seen him around a bunch. He was like a sparring partner in the movie. Um, it was cool. It's like more modern, so more people, and like it's kind of like based on like current time instead of it being like 30, 20 years ago. So it's like I guess more entertaining, but at the same time, like those old movies have like a different like tone to them.
And outside of the light heavyweight division or even the light heavyweight division, who's your favorite boxers to watch now and who do you love watching?
Um, I've always been a fan of Caleb Plant. I'm a huge fan. I really like how he boxes. Terrence Crawford really, he always proves me wrong, man. I always bet against him, and he always proves me wrong.
You surprised of his fight against Canelo?
Yeah, man. He babied Canelo, and he moved up all those weight classes. How many weight classes? Like three or four weight classes.
Pretty much, yeah.
He babied. Like not that Canelo did terrible, but at the same time, it's just from what I was expecting. I had Canelo winning when Terrence Crawford fought Errol Spence. I had Errol Spence winning, and he made him look bad. Like, I was honestly really hurt that night. Like I was like upsetting watching that fight.
Yeah, I can't believe you done that to him. I was like, I'm for sure, this fight's finally happened, and I was just surprised the Errol that turned up. But it was a great fight for what it was. Also, again, Tyson or AJ, who wins?
Oh man. I say Anthony Joshua.
And yeah, so I don't want to keep you too long. I appreciate all your time. And I've got probably a million questions, but we can save them for other interviews. But yeah, uh, is there anything you want to get off your chest?
No, man, not really. Honestly, I think we covered all the bases here. I think we covered more than all the bases. We got a good
Way
amount. I was
more.
like, we got like 30 minutes, right?
More. We've gone for nearly an hour now.
Yeah.
So, last few ones before I let you go. You love Noisy's music. Okay, cool. So I did this with British stuff, and let's do this here. Top five American slash English songs, and then top five Albanian songs. And you can go from Vala to Noisy. But yeah.
Honestly, I'd have to go through my phone and look at this stuff, man. Like I don't really remember. Like, but lately, for example, I've been listening to a lot of Biggie, a lot of Tupac, like old school stuff. And then recently with the new music, like the Albanian music, Yili Mani's been killing it, man. He's such a
Mm,
freaking artist, man. I love his music. Noisy's good. Um, who else? Honestly, it's the only two that have been dropping consistent music lately. Between Mary was nice, and he just stopped making music.
yeah.
Dirim dropped the song.
Hmm.
The
Lost in Tirana.
yeah, man, that was a pretty. He did great, honestly.
You ever met
Um,
him?
yeah, he lives in Staten Island too. We hang out.
Sick.
He's a cool dude. Yeah, very cool, very respectful dude. Some people like when they get fame like that, they kind of switch up, but he's very cool,
No,
down to
I love
earth.
his stuff. Is he Kosovan, right?
I think, yeah,
And would you prefer more Noisy's music or Vala old school or a bit of both?
I mix it up honestly. Like before a fight, honestly, I listen to like very like calm, kind of like sad music. I don't listen to like high beat. Like I'm just, I'm trying to stay calm, stay cool, collective. Um, it really depends. Honestly, it depends the mood. Like, I have like different playlists for like different, different genres of music, and like I have a playlist just for before I fight. Like I'm
That's
very picky with
sick.
that.
And what's been most of your walkout songs? Have they been all Albanian songs?
Mostly Albanian. I think like one fight I put an American song. I put like a drill song, and then they even put the right song on when I was walking out. Yeah, I have this thing where they always mess up the song, man. They always put the wrong song or the wrong version. I was like, man, like how do you mess it up? I send them the link of what song I want, they still mess it up. But they gotta start figuring that out, man. Because honestly, it's getting really annoying.
No, that would pee me off. And I really don't want to go into it too much, but obviously it'll hurt. It hurt me a lot. It was my childhood growing up with a lot of Albanian artists like Flori Murmeyesi and everyone else. But God rest his soul, of course, from the same country as you and part as you. You're from the side of Debra, you're the Albanian part or the part that goes into North Macedonia, right?
Or it's in North Macedonia, yeah.
Talk about Shpak Kasape, how much the influence he was to you, his music, meeting you, and the respect he gave to you. And unfortunately, he passed away last November.
Yeah, man. God rest his soul. He was a very nice guy, very respectful, very humble. I remember I was getting ready for a fight. I think I was going to forget what country I was going to, but we were going somewhere to fight. I think it was in Bulgaria, and then fight for the national team. They wanted me to stop there first. So I was going to Macedonia. I was training there a couple of days, and then we'd fly out. And they brought me to this one gym in Skopje, and I was like working out. And I see him, and he looks so familiar. I'm like, yo, where do I know this guy from? Where do I know this guy? Where do I know this guy? And then the coach is like, yo, you know this guy? I'm like, I know him, but I forgot, I can't put a face, like a name to a face. And he's like, oh, that's Shpaka Sabi. I was like, oh, shit. So now we sit there, we're talking for like half an hour. Very cool, very respectful guy. We take a picture together, and we went out. He invited me to the cafe all the time. He had to open a restaurant or a cafe over there. Always texting me, always messaging me after my fights. Congratulations, good luck. Very, very respectful guy. Very sad. Very sad how it happened. But, you know, God has his own plans, man. It's just how it was meant to be. So that's how it happened. But honestly, he's very good to me. Very respectful guy, very humble. So, very sad for his family. I wish them all the best. So, yeah.
And just to round up, brother, when is your next fight again, or you haven't got it confirmed?
TBD, to be determined. Not yet.
And what's your message to all your fans, your supporters, everyone around the world, Albanians, Macedonians, Americans, mum, dad, fiance, everyone that's supported you, bought tickets, watched your fights, and shown love since the amateurs and now the first six fights of your professional career?
I'm just very thankful for everyone that keeps supporting me. starting, supporting me. You know, everyone that's come along through the journey. People that have been there since the beginning of the journey. I'm very thankful for everybody. You know, they all have a special place in my heart when they help me. You know, it means the world, man. You know, when someone that doesn't owe you nothing, you know, takes care of you, and they go to events and they're talking about my name and, oh, I heard from this guy this and that, and you know, people are just helping, man. It really means a lot to me. You know, hopefully one day I can return the favor to them and, you know, become world champion and, you know, show them that all the support was worth it, you know.
And we all support each other, brother. And like I said, I could carry this on for a million hours. We could literally speak until 10 years' time. But obviously, God bless you. I appreciate everything you do, not just for the Albanian community, not just the Macedonian, not just the American, but what you've done so far in your career, inspiring people like myself. It goes a long way. If you can help one soul, then you've already done enough. So thank you for everything, brother. Like I said, I could keep this on for hours, but I want to say it's always an honor to interview you. Always an honor to have you on like a brother. Just one last question I have for you to round off for people. I always ask it, what's your one motivational message to the world for fans to follow and pursue their dreams?
Just keep pushing, man. Don't give up. Do what you got to do. You know, sometimes it feels like you're stuck in the same spot, but you know, a couple years ago I was praying to be in the position that I am today. And today I'm like, oh, I'm still not doing enough. But then when I think back to it, I'm doing exactly what I thought I was gonna be doing a couple of years ago. So just keep pushing through, keep working hard, and you'll get to where you want to be.
God bless you, brother, one more time, and I respect what you do again. And like I said, when we come and when we go to your title fights, your world title fights, obviously we can't think till the end. I'm always going to think to the very end. But when we look back and say one day in 5, 10 years' time, we're going to say what a journey it was. And we've got these to look back on it. We're lucky we're in a generation where you've got clips, you've got highlights, and everything's documented. We're not 100 years ago, like when Pele played football. So you've got everything here.
Of course, of course. It's gonna be written in stone, you know. So
Chapter 7 to be pending.
yes, sir.
Thank you, Arjan Iseni.
Take care, brother. I'll talk to you soon.